Just to set the stage here, Solana this year it's taken quite a beating. Not only did it suffer from multiple outages last year, its coin token price is down well over 90%. It's now floating around 13 to 15 cents. And a lot of the projects working on Solana are under a lot of pressure. So this debate is going to talk about whether Solana is still investable. Now, mind you, even though a lot of developers have moved away, it's still very established and still considered a top 20 coin, if not a top 10 coin. And a lot of the metaverse projects still seem to be committed to this protocol. Thank you for the polls, Michael. Maybe you can show the result of that. So what does the audience says? Chat says pro. Wow, 64% believe that Solana is uninvestable. So this time on the pro side or the for side will be Alisher and Markus, and on the against side will be Louis and Mike. So opening statements to Alisher or Markus. Who's going to pick up this one?
No, Markus is this one.
Excellent. Thanks, Markus. You have 4 minutes when you start.
Yeah, thanks very much. Obviously, Solana has been everybody's darling like a year ago. And when you didn't know about the price, if you didn't know what really happened, I think you would still be very optimistic. You know, they have a long schedule of events planned. They're very active in marketing. They have the hackathons. They have the conferences from Turkey to Australia. Everything is planned out. Everything is marketing. But I think they have been also betting on the wrong areas. You know, so they have been very active, of course, in the NFT business. They have been gearing their business towards that or their protocol to that a little bit. And I think that hasn't really done really well, right? So when you just look at the outages, so let's just start with, I think with the worst idiosyncratic event. So even in the first half of this year, we had 4 outages alone. And as you can see, these outages have always caused really the price of the Solana token really to fall down a lot. And when you look at the market cap here in like purple, because everybody knows that the market cap is really down a lot. According to Token Terminal, when you see in green the developer team, so there used to be at like 2,400 developer teams working on Solana, and now you only have 72. So I think it's going to be like very difficult to really turn this around, and especially because crypto has so much reflexivity really when really the momentum is lost, it's very difficult to really re-attract a lot of users and a lot of developers. And if you look at TVL, for example, it used to be at like 10 billion and now it's only like 300 million. So it's becoming like more and more irrelevant, I must say. And then of course, the big elephant in the room is really like the supply dynamic. So a lot of the tokens that have been issued in the first kind of 12 to 24 months when Solana really raised capital, gave tokens to its own foundation, B to the VCs, to the market. As you can see here, you know, there used to be like 500 million tokens, and this supply is going to increase up until kind of 12, 13, 14, and 15, and it's going to be like a massive supply. So I think this is really contrary to what we're seeing, for example, in Bitcoin, where we know that supply is limited and it's coming lower and lower. Then, of course, some of the other, I guess, blockbuster, announcements that Solana has been making is, of course, the Solana phone that's going to be shipped supposedly in Q1. We haven't really heard much. Supposedly, they're going to start shipping 3,000 units to developers so they can work and build some, I guess, some apps and dApps on it. But we haven't heard anything. So I think the risk that these are going to be delayed is quite. Nevertheless, I think Solana here still is like a top 10 token. So I think it can even fall more. It's still the value is like 5 billion. And I think the other big aspect is, of course, the relationship with FTX, where the creditor might have to sell some of the tokens that they have. Solana has some Ethereum assets. They have some FTX direct share investments that are probably close to zero. And then, of course, they have some of their treasury, while small, but some it's still locked up on the FTX platform. So I think overall, it's very difficult to see how they're going to come out of this, because I think once the market has turned its back on some certain project, the market will look for something new and is going to move on instead of reviving the whole system. So that's my...
Awesome. Thank you. That was a really, really compelling argument, and looks like 62% of the audience so far agree with you, Markus. Let's go to opening statements for the against team. Michael, will that be you?
Yeah, that'll be me.
Excellent. 4 minutes on your start.
All right. So yes, FTX blew up, right? So does that mean it's going to bring Solana down all the way down to zero with it? Many think so, but we think it's the contrary. We think actually it is, as long as it's non-zero, it is investable. And if you actually look beyond the noise and all the smokes and mirrors about FTX, there is real value that comes with technology and the blockchain of Solana. So what is Solana, right? Let's take a step back. Solana essentially, it's a highly scalable blockchain protocol in the layer 1 that can support over 50,000 transactions per second. Now, just to put this into perspective, the biggest competitor of Solana is Ethereum, and currently they can only still process about 20 transactions per second. So technologically, it's already much faster and much more advanced than Ethereum. And because of that, over the past year and a half, tons of applications developers have swarmed into using Solana to build their applications, to build NFTs, because it's faster and it's cheaper. And yes, the DeFi ecosystem for Solana has really reduced over the past year, but still, hey, there's still a few $100 million worth of assets still locked in there, meaning there are active participants in this ecosystem. On the NFT side, surprisingly, the Solana-based NFTs, the transaction volume actually has bumped up over this past month by 100%. And at the same time, even with FTX gone, there are still over 600 validation nodes that is maintaining the network, that's running and keeping Solana alive. First of all, Solana is not dead. It's still alive and kicking. Now, if you look at it from the investment angle, the price has gone down to past 90% since its peak. But again, it's still 17 times higher than when it actually launched, right? You can think about this in IPO and IPO price and where it is now. It's still 17 times higher. So the market has come down a lot. And yes, the crypto market has also come down. But when the crypto market returns, when the bull market returns, when Bitcoin halving is coming, the rest of the market's going to go along with it. Solana being one of the top cryptocurrencies, they're going to ride along as well on that wave. At the same time, we're looking at blockchain in general. We're looking at the technology. And frankly, there's less than 10% of the world population touching crypto or blockchain right now, which means there's a 90% upside of usage of blockchain. I'm not saying Solana is going to take over the world, but if you now have the chance to invest into Web 3.0, into a protocol level, which you were never able to do so, right? Think about 20 years ago, you can't do that with internet. But now you have a chance to invest in that. Other than Ethereum, wouldn't you want to diversify and not put all your eggs in one basket? And within that basket, I'm pretty damn sure that Solana is going to be in there because technologically, it's just way up there. And one final point is, actually, without FTX, Solana is becoming more decentralized. This was actually a big item of concern for Solana before FTX collapsed because people were thinking, oh, is FTX behind this whole thing? Are they super centralized? And now the world is proving that Solana is still alive, kicking. Many nodes are still being operated without FTX. And I think that's a good thing for this blockchain. Thank you.
Awesome. Also, very, very compelling points. I mean, yeah, you make a point there about Solana. It has been around longer than some of the newer chains, and all that technology shouldn't go to waste. All right, let's go to rebuttals. For the for side, you have 2 minutes on the rebuttal side. Is that going to be Alisher or Markus? Markus?
Alisher, you're on mute. He's going to go for it.
Oh, Alisher. Okay, you're on mute, Alisher. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Markus, you want to take this one or should I? Up to you.
I think we can also do like a mix. I think the one thing
sure.
I think the one thing I would add is Michael had, of course, some good comments here, and you can say you're going to be a value investor here. But at the same time, when you look at which company, which corporate, which entity has announced they're going to do some stuff with Solana, right? We all know about Polygon. There has been from Starbucks to Facebook. There are all these announcements, but there's no announcement really on Solana, right? Yes, maybe it has scalability, but it has all these outages. But maybe it's just not attractive enough, and maybe the market is moving to other chains, right? So maybe other chains are a lot more attractive than Solana, right? That's like the point I wanted to make. If you want to...
Sure. One other thing Michael did mention is the increase in volume of Solana-based NFTs. Volume is a double-edged sword. If it's downward pressure and everybody's selling their NFTs because of the damn coin and the whole L1 coalition and the NFTs are becoming worthless, then yeah, technically that is volume. Yeah, perfect. It was an uptick, but that's because everyone dumped them, right? So I think that argument altogether was pretty good, yeah, but it's good for that period of time when people are selling. Then network activity, the prospects of the project overall labeled as a Sam coin at this point are very, very, very bleak. And in this sense, I've never been a Solana bull. I don't think that many L1s have a fighting chance at this point versus ETH, but we're obviously going to have to wait and see. So overall, I think that right now the project in most people's eyes has been linked too closely with Sam. And I think that now it's been labeled as that. I'm happy to spend my time.
Thank you, Alisher. Final closing statements from Mike's team and Louis.
Yeah, I'll take it. All right. Let me share my screen. All right. So, yes, the outages is something that I want to address. It is, at the end of the day, this is technology. New technology always comes with problems and bugs. If you look at Google and Gmail, it was actually in beta phase for many years before they perfected the application. And Solana being a layer 1 blockchain, naturally there will be problems. I think the bigger thing to look at is not just the outages, but actually how they address these outages, how it behaves, and actually how it improves. There were quite a few 4 big outages over this past year. But if you actually look at November, when FTX blew up, right? When all these people were trading Solana NFTs, or they're trying to get out of Solana, they're trying to unstake Solana, you can imagine there were loads of traffic happening on this blockchain. But we actually did not see one single outage event. We actually did not see any attack or security issues with the blockchain. So what that means is Solana, the development community of Solana and the team behind it has been doing their job. They have been fixing problems and they have been making it better. And I think that's the trend that you want to invest in. And given the price is already so low, there's really not a lot of direction for the price to go except to go up. And just one final thought here is, I think this was mentioned a couple of times today, is this beauty here, right? This phone. The Solana team came from Qualcomm, right? As we all know, Qualcomm was the leader in making smartphones. So yes, it hasn't launched yet, but I think it's coming. I'll just let your imaginations run wild on, what's going to happen with a blockchain-powered phone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Look at this gorgeous specimen here. Ladies and gentlemen, please vote for after, I guess, your deciding vote. Who made a more compelling argument? Be it resolved that Solana is uninvestable, pro or con. Please select your choice. Guys, that was pretty good.
Sam can use that phone to call us out of prison.
Yeah, Sam can use that phone. I think they're only sending, 3,000 phones for the DAOs? Is that right?
Yeah, not a lot.
Yes.
By the way, I worked in Qualcomm for many years, so I was certified.
Not financial advice, this full disclosure, but yep, post it up. Oh, wow. So, I'm sorry, I don't remember who it saw it. Oh, yeah, so it looks like Con, Mike, looks like you pulled it out. Solana, 62% believe it is, in fact, investable.
It's the phone, man.
And that point you made about it's come down so much, the price has come down so much, it's got nowhere to go but up. And I think a lot of Luna investors would disagree. Let's not go. I think the team already talked about the supply issue with the unlocks, but anyways, very, very good debate, guys. Thank you so much.